Welcome back to another episode of Lifetime Talks. I'm David Freeman.
And I'm Jamie Martin.
In today's topic, we're going to be hitting on tried and true fitness strategies and trends. So today we're stripping back to what truly lasts in fitness. So many trends, so many new ideas popping up. It's easy to lose sight of the fundamentals. This episode, we're going to be focusing on the strategies that have stood the test of time, the ones that consistently build strength, support longevity, and help people show up for a better life. And we got a special guest. This is round 2 with Gunnar, yeah?
Yes, Gunnar Peterson is with us today. He is a Nashville-based personal trainer whose clients include celebrities, professional athletes, and everyday people. With more than 30 years of experience, he is widely recognized for his expertise in functional training and of his commitment to developing and implementing innovative fitness techniques. His approach emphasizes strength training modalities that can be transferred from the gym to daily life. Gunnar, it's so nice to see you. How are you?
I'm great. You guys are nice to have me back on. Must be a slow week for you.
Oh,
So,
come on. Come on. We were just talking before we launched. The last time we talked to you was in season 2 of the podcast, was in 2020. So it's been over 5 years since we last connected. Life is mostly back to normal, I think, for almost all of us. How have things been for you? What have you been up to since we last, had you on the pod?
let's see. I closed my LA gym. I moved to Nashville. I opened a gym here. Our daughter got cancer. Our daughter's in remission. I mean, jump in anytime. There's a lot to cover, but everything is good. We're in a really good place right now. So I'm excited to be on. You guys are great to do this, and anything to do with Lifetime where you guys are putting a good word out, you can count me in.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I will just say I had a chance to meet your daughter a couple of months ago, and she is a spitfire. And she was amazing to get to see. Like, she was like dancing in Times Square, I think, when I saw her. So,
She was. Piece of work, that one. I feel sorry for the first ex-boyfriend, that's all I know.
I love it.
So we're going to jump right into it, brother. So one of the biggest things that we've seen over the past few years is AI start to actually creep into the health and fitness space. I got to ask the question just because you've been in the space for so many years, you've seen so many things come and go. How do you use AI? If you use AI, what do you see the benefits behind it or not the benefits behind it? I just want to throw it out there because I know a lot of our listeners want to know how this can be utilized within this space.
Well, I'm definitely not using it in my training. I may use it in my prep in terms of taking deeper dives on, sometimes when I do a program, I anticipate fairly or unfairly, a question or a pushback that somebody might have. So I'll make sure I get my explanation ready, right? It's like if I need to pull it out, I will. And I just make sure that, AI can give me some interesting, if I look up, for example, benefits of peripheral heart action over hit.
Mm.
And because I know if I'm sequencing a workout with somebody and it's going to be upper extremity lower, upper lower, upper lower, and I know that they're going to balk because the cardio demand is going to be so much. If it's supposed to be a strength session, what are we doing? I thought we were doing hit training. Wow, what are we doing here? And you walk them through it. I might use an AI search just to make sure that I get the right words and I say, just the facts, ma'am, only the facts, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's it for me. It's not going to help me in my business. I mean, I had somebody. We had another like a business thing about a product, and the guy sent me literally a 10-page breakdown on how to present it to people who could bring it to market. And I was like, "Oh my god, how did he do that?" And then he just plugged that into AI. He did nothing actually, literally. So that's not going to help me in the day to day with people. That's why this job is. I mean, you're in the field.
Yeah.
It's not that it's recession proof or bulletproof in any way, but it's definitely you can't replicate human touch. You can't replicate my inflections. You can't replicate my cues, my volume levels. You're not gonna, I trained a guy years ago, motivational speaker, and he goes, You use volume and inflection to move me. It's wild." He goes, "You're like a motivational speaker." I go, "Oh, I'm a trainer, dude." But what he's saying, he was spot on
Yeah.
Mhm.
because there are ways to use your voice to move people in a room. Just the same way, the same way I do it with my kids, right?
Mhm.
It may be a bark, it may be a whisper, but either way, I will get their attention. And you do the same thing in training. So AI can't,
Replicate
you
that.
can't, right? Can't box me out.
Mm.
Right, it's so interesting because since COVID, one of the things that we've launched at Lifetime is what we call dynamic personal trainers, and really the whole point of that is, like, it's about being in person and being able to make adjustments in real time to help support people, and you can't do that in the digital space. It's like really being able to see and in real time be able to make recommendations and suggestions, so I think that is so critical. You cannot replace that one-to-one experience.
Right. Apps and online are great. There's a place for them, no question. Just like telemedicine, there's a place for that. But sometimes you just need to be in the doctor's office. Sometimes you just need to be with the trainer. And some people need that all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And some people need it infrequently, but some of the time. So you're not, it's not going to box you out. And with, 8 billion people on the planet, there's always room for people who are putting in the work and willing to show up and do that in person. I know a lot of trainers that don't want to do that. They literally years ago I did an interview with a guy on it was bodybuilding.com, and he was sitting in he came to see me in LA, and he sat in my office and he was talking about these thousands of clients and these people and these thousands of clients and all these out, and I'm like, how do I not know this kid? I know every trainer out there. I pride myself on being friends and peers with so many great trainers. How do I not know this kid? This is so strange. He's like coming up with this resume that it's weird. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm online."
Mm,
Oh, so you're not ever like in the gym
mhm.
doing what I do. Like you don't prep a workout, bring out the towels, bring out the water, load the weights, all this. Not say mine is better. It's that whole thing, right? Not better, not worse, just different. Your job is very different from mine. We are not the same.
Yeah.
I don't do what you do to that point, just to say I'm not what I do is not better. It's just different. So that for him, maybe AI helps because it programs and it just spits it out and keeps cranking it or progresses it, but that's not gonna help me here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, a great analogy with this is you probably have heard a song. Like, who's your favorite artist? Who would you say? Gunner, who you got? Your favorite singing artist?
Oh, back in the day, it was Prince for sure
Okay.
for a number of reasons. Now, I don't know. Now, I'm kind of skewed by I fall in love with the people that I work with. So if I'm working with an artist who's crushing, I just find myself enjoying their music if I'm enjoying that person in the gym.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I work with a lot of really cool people who do great things in music, and I'm like, love this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was gonna reference like so J. Cole, he's from my hometown of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I always heard all of his music.
Mhm.
Love his music, bumping it in the car. When I witnessed him at a
Did he do
concert.
Riding Solo?
No, 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 no.
That
Right,
wasn't
so
him, right?
no, no, no. J. Cole, you I mean, he has so many different ones, as far as behind the lines. But I mean, I'll send you some of his stuff. You'll love him though. You probably
No,
already
I
heard
know
him.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't make me open my music by that phone.
But I was gonna say though, when I actually saw him in concert, it was a different experience. So to your point, there's a place for all these different things, but then where you're gonna really truly start to understand the difference makers. And I have my bias, obviously, because 'cause I'm in person a lot too. But those individuals who are not able to reach us, maybe they're so far away from us, be able to have that reach for them as well. So in that space, I love what you said there. You that Prince, and you probably appreciate that being here in
We're
Minnesota.
in Minnesota, and we're recording just down the road from where he lived. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
Paisley Park.
Yep,
uh,
really close.
now I gotta ask the question, and we get right back on topic. Did you ever see him perform live?
I saw him perform live a few times at the Hollywood Bowl in
Mhm.
Vegas. Yeah, 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 I did.
Wow. So
I did.
needless to say, it's probably one of those things that you got to be there to understand, right?
The first song in one place in Vegas, I remember the people in front of us stood up and they never sat back down. And I was like, should have bought front row because I was like, I mean, we weren't that far back,
Right.
5, 8 rows, but if I didn't stand up, I was seeing nothing.
Mm.
Right.
So the live show was incredible to me, right? I also saw Whitney Houston live once in New Orleans, and I will say live with that group, and it was a lot of a cappella stuff, and it was amazing. but it wasn't sing not that you wanna hear me sing along with anything anyway, but it wasn't definitely as sing along as the albums because she did it differently, and um, it was a completely different experience, which I welcomed,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like listen to the album.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a different maker. It's a difference maker being
For
in person.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get back to the fitness side of things here. Gunnar, you and I saw each other this last October out in New York. We were at an event launching a partnership between Ion Vests, weighted vests, and Lifetime. And I think as we were talking out at that event, weighted vests are having a moment right now. So curious, what talk to me a little
It's
bit
like
about.
saying, that well, I saw this that makes me laugh, and weighted vests are having a moment. It's like saying ice baths are having a moment,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yoga's having a moment. These are things that have been around forever, and they're
Yes.
having a moment with new people in different ways.
Yes.
I don't even think it's funny. It is a weighted vest, but it's not like remember that old Buick commercial? So it's not your no, Oldsmobile. It's like, "It's not your father's
Oh yeah.
Oldsmobile." Like, this vest, this is not the vest of other weight vests of
Right.
days gone. It's not that. It's a whole new thing to me anyway. It's
Absolutely.
I probably have 8 vests in my gym, and I would say in the past 6 months, I've only worn the the Aon vest. It's the only one I wear.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I think David has one. I have one now too since that event, and I had one of the kind of the other ones, just full disclosure, bought it off Amazon. Don't ever touch that thing anymore because it's not what I wanna do, but just wanted to talk about it because we're seeing people everywhere wearing them now, right? Like, everybody's walking down the street in them. How are you incorporating the weighted vest into the training that you're doing with your clients and yourself?
I put it, so I run on an Alter G, which is the other way, right? I'm reducing the my body weight on my foot strike. So I do that probably 3 to 4 days a week, and then I put the vest on the other 3 to 4 days a week, and I do this hybrid thing of a steady state cardio to a jump rope to a hit, to a steady state to a jump rope to a hit. So I do anywhere 3, 4, 5 minutes, or I go 3, 4, 5 up, and then 5, 4, 3, then 3 like that, and then I'll step off. I'll do 100 skips on a rope, and then I'll do 30 seconds on an air dyne or 30 seconds on a climber, and I'll repeat that sequence in my vest for an hour, and then I'll stretch and lift. But I will keep the vest on through the stretch and lift. There's also, speaking of that vest, the fact that it's you wear it tight on purpose, right?
Mhm.
It's snug. There's a compressive factor to it. I love that. Like, I'm not taking up. I wanna keep it on. It's something like woomy or cocoony, like, I feel it's like your binky. Once you get that thing on, like, it's not coming off in the workout.
It is so interesting. I've heard a lot of people talking about that, how it almost feels calming to them, like a weighted
Yeah.
blanket type of thing,
Yep.
or, it's
Yep.
just like it's comforting in moments of stress. We had a big event at Lifetime a few months ago, and somebody wore theirs. She's like, it helped me stay calm through the stress of that event, which I thought was a
But it
really
also puts
interesting.
his design, Brent Yates' design is there's no pressure on the shoulders and the
Yeah.
traps.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's always been for me the limiting factor. Like, a lot of people on their deadlift, it's their grip, right? That's the fail.
Mhm.
To me, on a weighted vest, it's the pressure on the traps and the neck over time where you got to lose it. And for men and women in the armed forces, like, they must be special animals to get used to that. But you don't that's to me a limiting factor for Gen Pop and for me as well. So when I wear it, I love that I don't when it comes off, I don't feel that need to, do the whole neck thing.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's get into some different modalities within the strength space. Once again, you've seen so much over the years. It continues to evolve. It doesn't necessarily, to your point, this isn't the new thing. It's just probably becoming more and more relevant. History repeats itself. When it comes to strength modalities, what do you start to lean heavily into as far as, hey, you got principles and you got philosophy? Obviously, philosophies can, change over the years, but then you have cold, hard principles. What are some principles that you live by within the health and fitness industry as it relates to
I
programming?
I think if you live and die by certain things, you're probably gonna die more than you live. You don't always need. I tell my 9-year-old this all the time. Like, you don't need to have an opinion on everything. Right? Like,
Mhm.
you can just go, yeah, okay, all that. I just saw a post by Australian strength coach, and it's great stuff.
I
And he's
watched
talking
it, it was
about
good. Hypertrophy,
did
right?
you yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's funny. I find it's confirmation bias. I'm listening to him and I'm nodding because he's saying what I've said 1,000 times, but he's so articulate, and he just does it really well. And he's like, anything where it has to be one way or the other, he
Yeah.
goes, I'm right in the middle. And I was like,
Mm.
yep, I'm with you, because you can get, and there's so many uh different types of people, of clients, of the demographics, that not everything works for everybody.
Right.
There's nothing that works for nobody. A lot of things, work a little bit. A few things don't work at all. It's there's so much nuance to it. So, I'm a big fan of progressive overload. I'm a big fan. What did he call it? Approaching failure. He had a great word. I forget. Like, not training to failure, but leaving X number of reps
Oh,
in
reps in the
reserve.
tank. Yeah.
But he talked about it. It was like approaching failure, or getting, that's where you're going to see it, whether you're approaching failure by rep 3, 4, 5, or by rep 12, 13, 14. That's where you have to be getting close to technical failure in your lift in order to promote hypertrophy, in order to force the muscle to want to grow.
Mm.
So I'm like, yeah, not everybody. I have some people, if I trained them in the 3, 4, 5 rep range, they would be like, what are we doing? Are you trying to, blow my joints apart? But I have other people that that if you take them up into the 12, 13, 14, they're like, "What are we doing? Why are we, I hate this many reps. I'm
Mhm.
tired." And he talked about heart strength too, which
Oh,
was
that was so
sort of it,
good.
where he
Yeah.
talked about the 30 rep squat, the 20 rep, like back in the Tom Platz days. And I'm a big fan of those. More body weight post a heavy lift. Like, I'm big on contrast training, French contrast training. I think there's so much room for that. You have someone do a heavy back squat and then have them move right away into like speed squats, but where they pop off the ground, right? So there's open kinetic chain component, there's the explosive factor to it, and you can smoke even the strongest, healthiest people out there, and that's what they're looking for, at least when they come here.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off that, we have our program here at Lifetime with Alpha, and I can tell you, I get so many emails, so many texts about the programming, right? And we go through 4 week cycles, right, Gunner? And what we're trying to do is obviously elicit the response to create change for all these different individuals. When it's a one to many program, you can't really speak in absolute to like around a lot of things because you just said earlier, so many different variables. Everybody responds differently to certain things. But what I always go back to is the constant, right? The individual showing up and meeting them where they're at and giving them the why behind what it is that they're doing and how they get to that finish line or that next starting line, however you want to look at it. So just hearing you say that, it's so many different variables, but the constant is the individual that continues to show up. And then also the constant is the coach delivering that information to make sure that they're set up for success. So I love how you
But you
explain.
nailed it. I watched some of your videos, and giving them the why
Mm,
clearly pushes them through. So I would, the play on words there to me is, it's the AIY, right? It's not a DIY, it's an AIY. So I'll get that. Sometimes I'll get help on the why to expound on my definition by digging into AI, and then that'll help me formulate the why for them. I know what the why is for me. I don't have to go into that. I know why I'm here,
mhm,
why I'm on the coaching side, and I know why I'm still knocking out my workouts, never miss kind of thing. So
Mhm.
I know my why, but sometimes some people get in there and their original why wasn't enough. Like, it
mhm.
might have gotten them through week 1, week 2, but after that they're questioning, or they're not sure, or they're stumbling, or, and you just got to go, no, 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 revisit the why. Here's the why. Here's the why for you, and here's the why that we're doing what we're doing in this room. Here's the why for the programming.
Mhm, mhm.
Yep. Well, and I think to that point, I mean, I know a lot of what you're talking about, right? I've been in the health and fitness space a long time, but you guys are very inside. You're doing this every day. You know the why just offhand. So being able to explain it in layman's terms for everybody, right? To be like, now you're gonna get it,
Yeah,
right? This
yeah.
is what's going on there. So I appreciate that. Another
I think
top
that's an Einstein thing.
yeah.
Not to give us the Einstein hat, but I want to say he said something like, if you can't explain it in the simplest terms to the simplest person, you don't know it well enough.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that. I think you have to be able, like, I challenge myself to break it down to my kids sometimes. Why are we doing this? And you can't talk to your kids about hypertrophy, or the fact that
Mhm.
connective tissue takes longer to strengthen than muscle tissue. Like, they're just doing this. So you gotta there's a way to break it down to people. Not that you're talking down to them ever, but what you know in your field, they know in some other field that you don't know.
Mhm.
So finding a way to communicate that where you maintain the respect and where you keep them engaged. To me, those are all signs of a good coach, probably of a career coach versus a job coach. And those are the people I try to stay close to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I love that. Okay, we wanna talk about recovery for a little bit because it also feels like there's just been more and more conversation about that over the last few years, how people often are under recovering
Mhm.
versus overtraining. How are you integrating, like, really strategic recovery strategies into your training?
I subscribe to that. I've said that for 1,000 years.
Yep.
I'm not going to quote myself, but I think there are very few groups that overtrain as a whole. I think most under recover, and whether that's not enough days off or not enough time off intra workout or not enough recovery protocols, whatever your choice is. If you're not eating enough, not sleeping enough, not managing your stress levels. There's so many ways to do that. I would say what we use here, we're big on percussive devices. We're big on Theraguns
Mhm.
for activation and for post workout. Um, I just recently we aligned with a company called Solbasium, which is red light therapy.
Mhm.
And I don't have a bed yet, but I'm leaning towards it. I have like a back pad and an ankle cuff and I know I go into it believing and ready, but I read as much of the science, not just the marketing, but the science
Yep.
behind it. And I go, oh yeah, I'm ready. And I'll try it. And I just know that it's taking me in the right direction. It's not taking me from broken to fixed, but it's definitely from you can stay in the game longer and you recover better. Cold tub to me, that's polarizing. We have one. I'm more of a hit the shower onto cold at the end and stand there and try to count to 10, 20, 30. Not pleasant, but I will do it. I have a sauna at the house. I don't use it as I'm probably 1 to 2 times a week. I
Mhm.
probably think about it 5 times a week, but 3 times of that 3 of those times are after I'm in bed. I go, "God, should have done the sauna." And it's just not in my path, so I don't. A lot of water,
Mhm.
tons of water. I think a lot of people end up being dehydrated. I think they think coffee or energy drinks or that kind of thing. That's not hydration. It's different. I'm not going to weigh in on good or bad. I don't judge it, but I don't think that counts towards your overall. I have a nutritionist in LA, a good friend, Philip Golia, and he always says, Did a fish swim in it? If fish don't swim in it, it doesn't count." And that's his, and there's room for that too, but it's just funny. That's how I have to break it down for people. They're like, "No, but I had this and this, and I had an orange juice." You're like, "What are you doing? You're
Yeah.
not hydrated."
Yeah.
So,
Let's kind of
so
see.
those are things we lean into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna lean into what you were just saying, just to kind of go off of that, is as far as nutrition has always been an important staple within health and fitness. And what I always like to throw out there, because we continue to evolve in this space too, what can we do to get better in this space when it comes to food and nutrition as it relates to USA? So right now we got ultra processed foods. I know that's the easy, quick fix that kids might want to jump to, adults as well. But from your point of view, once again, I never like to speak in absolutes, but if you were to have our listeners take this in for a soundbite, where's the area of opportunity of where they can really, really champion their nutrition, and where do you see the opportunity for us in the future in this space?
A lot of people use the word hack, and they're like, "Here's a fitness hack. Here's a recovery hack. Here's a nutrition hack." If that's a workaround, that's fine. But if you're looking at it as a corner cutting method or a way to cheat it, I think ultimately you're going to fall on your face.
Mhm.
There are enough recipes out there. I don't cook at all, like maybe toast. That's it. But there are enough recipes out there with substitute ingredients to crush all your cravings, to make you feel like you're not deprived, because I think when you feel deprived, that's you've lit the fuse on when your food plan, your program is going to fail. Because you're in a free society and you can eat what you want when you want.
Mhm.
So the fact that you're abstaining from something when you feel like you're being held back, you will eventually break free and lash out. And so I say, go on, find those recipes that I can send you. There's so many of those guys out there that for me, it's that I want the sugar late at night, but there are ways to do that using a protein powder or a nut butter or something that
Yeah.
I'm going to get the sugar thing, but I'm not going to end up an additional 700 calories in the hole of just straight sugar. Um, I think that's a big one. The people I talk to, I usually ask them, not that it has to be limited to one, but which is your biggest crime? Quality, quantity, or timing? And I get the pause, and I get a lot of people who go, I never thought about timing, but it's probably timing. And it's that they eat too much late at night and it's too sweet. And if they have any alcohol, literally like the defenses are down and it's straight to the sugar calories. So I think if you can get a hold of that, um, you'll feel good and you won't feel deprived, then you're probably more likely to stick to the rest of the regimen.
That's good.
What is your like, you mentioned protein at night, like, do you have a specific way you take it if you crave sugar? Like, what's
Yeah,
your
there's a
sweet treat?
guy that I find online, and it's not like I don't even think I got my degree from Instagram University over here, but, I do find I have 0 animosity or anger towards social. All the people like, "Social media is so bad." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Social
right.
media can be great."
Great. Yeah.
Like, there are you can you can learn and pull things and relax and laugh, and it's just a form of, uh it's just a diversion, not that it takes you away from your real life. I'm not trying to escape
Mhm.
something by going down these rabbit holes. I'm learning things and I'm tracking a social media clip to a PubMed article. That doesn't mean I'm on social anymore. Now I'm in science, right? So
Yeah.
I'm getting better. There's a guy called Macro Daddy, and he's probably not for everybody because he can get a little vulgar, which I find humorous. But he has some terrific dessert recipes that are like protein powders with nut butter with something, and he'll whip them so they're filling. And I'll send it to my wife, and I'll go, "Babe, any chance we could make this?" And I use the collective pronoun "we." Can we make this? Which is like a nudge, and she'll make it, and I'm like, I'm so good. I don't even think about ice cream. I'm not going to the cookies that were left over from the kids' school party. I'm good with that, and it's a protein, and there's some sugar, but not enough to stress about it, and calorically, I'm staying within the boundaries,
Mhm.
and those things help me stay on the path, and I don't like, I'm not training like, I make up weight goals or reasons to be at a certain level of fitness. I have to make those up. I don't have competitions coming up. I'm not doing nude scenes and photo shoots and that. So for me, it's like by Christmas, this number, by this number, and I'll play with it. And those things help me stay on my path. Short-term goals, long-term goals. I think those are key for everybody. And they don't have to be hard and fast, but you should have a ballpark.
Absolutely.
Keeps you in the
We
game.
we actually were just talking about that. David and I recorded an episode about some of our own kind of micro and macro kind of goals going into 2026, but yeah, it's good to have that in mind always, right? To know where we're headed.
But you're not owned by it, right?
Right.
It's just something that keeps you, we used to talk about nutrition and say if the perfect nutrition is a straight line, I don't care if you're on the line and then you go way over here and then way back. That's where it's dangerous. I would rather have you kind of vadal,
Mhm.
like skiing. I'd rather have you be like off, on, off, just not so far off the line that then you come back in either direction. It's a lot, and it's a lot for the body, and it's a lot for the mind to overcome that when you get too far gone. Like some people, when they don't train, they lose everything and they drop weight and they get like skinny fat and they're not comfortable and they don't feel strong and that. But the other people just swell up, and then and either one of those, it's hard to bring them back to center. So just don't go so far off center either way, and don't fall asleep at the wheel. That's what it really comes down to.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Gunnar, another one we'll throw at you just because, once again, it's more and more innovation coming into this space. You probably have heard of like whether it is the peptides or things that help accelerate with healing. Like what's your thought process within that space as more and more starts to come out?
Um, I would say this, that is I came up remember, I came up years ago, in the steroid era,
Mhm.
and I never dabbled. I looked. You definitely think about it as a young guy, and I had a number of friends who did it, people who did it, people, who were pushing for some goal, whether it was athletics or performative, meaning like on the artistic side in the arts, and I just couldn't ever come up with a reason to do it, and I didn't want to feel like I left anything on the table. Like I always do this check in the mirror. Um, and if I don't like what I see, I go down the list. Is my training on point? Is my nutrition on point? Is my hydration on point? My sleep and recovery, my supplements, my stress management? And there's always two of them that when I'm not liking what I see that are off.
Mhm.
Well, that's pilot error. If I ever go down it and everything is on point for weeks on end and nothing is changing and I'm unhappy, I would consider something. I would say that the peptide argument is a lot more interesting to me than the steroid argument.
Mhm.
The fact that it seems it is more natural, right?
Mhm.
And it is what your body naturally produces. You can do it without being synthetic, so that's interesting and attractive. I haven't done it yet. I think I take Alpha Gym by Gym supplements. I take MitoQ, which is a mitochondrial enhancer. I take protein shakes.
Yeah.
I do a pre-workout, but I don't do a ton of stuff and I'm still cool with how I look and so far no complaints at home about that and but the day I can't move the needle on my own, I think I would take a deeper dive into the peptides and it would
Mhm.
probably be something along the lines of the BPC 157, maybe even retatrutide, maybe even MOTS-C. There are a few that are interesting, and I read more and more and more about them. And with our daughter recovering from her cancer, and now there are pushes towards the benefits of that for kids, especially
Mhm.
kids coming out of a certain situation. We've done nothing on that front, but it's interesting to read and to see where it's going. And I will ride shotgun on that until I decide to commit or decommit.
Mhm.
Good.
You know, life can be tough. So if that's what you need to get through and feel great, man, by all means, go for it.
Mhm. It's so interesting because I feel like even for myself, when we started hearing more and more about, like, GLP-1s, what, 3 years ago now already? Initially, I was very like, "Oh, no, quick fix, hype that's hype, it's what" you know what I mean? We don't go there. But as more and more as we're seeing it in the terms of how people are using it now beyond type 2 diabetes, I feel like there's been so much more information about the benefits for people or how people are seeing some really positive effects beyond weight loss, right? For their health, cognitive benefits, different things helping with different addictions and type of things. So it's really been interesting where I was very judgmental initially, I will say. I was like, "Oh, that's just another quick fix out there." But I think with everything, it's like kind of give it some time to figure out like what's the science behind it, what's working. And we know, yeah, I mean, that's my take
The
on it. But I like
the
to be
people
open
who are
minded.
the people who are self-administering, that's when I go, hey, maybe talk to somebody on the other side. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that you and your friend or you and your girlfriend over a glass of wine should be making that decision. And I also come back to with all of these things. I mean, this should have been the top of it is the devil's in the dose. And my wife
Mhm.
is so tired of hearing me say that, whether I'm talking about, a tequila or an energy drink or whatever it is. Like, there are so many things you can dabble in, right? That won't wreck you.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
some of them, when people, if one is good, two is better, and you're like, wow, maybe not.
Right.
Maybe maybe pump the brakes, or maybe talk to a professional. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you have to make sure it's an unbiased professional, not someone who's benefiting by selling it to you or benefiting it by your not buying it. Right? There's you got to just take a overall look at that and make an informed decision. I think.
Absolutely.
Solid. All right.
All right.
I
You
mean,
go back.
you want me to go on
You
this one?
go.
All right,
You
here we
go.
go. I was gonna ask this question because this was one of the ones that when curating, this episode, it was something that I was always curious about. So knowing that how far we kinda go back, and I want you to if it's available,
I used
please.
to love Hey, I used to love your old videos on Instagram were so motivational, inspirational. They were the music obviously was always a 10, but the athleticism and
Yeah.
the strength in the shit you did on those videos, I was like, "This dude is an absolute beast," and they were so and when the new one would come out, I would watch it, I would share it, and you were, like, from afar before I knew you, and I was like, "This guy, how is he not, like, pro everything
Mhm.
sport?" So, your athleticism was spectacular, and it was great, and it definitely got me to do more in the gym than I would have done had I not watched them, so hats off to you, man, on that for sure.
Well, let's flip it because I reached out not thinking he's gonna respond to me, and then his alma mater obviously being at Duke, and I was living in North Carolina at the time, he was like, "I'm gonna be at Duke, come up, we'll hang out," and I mean, the rest is history, we've been friends since then, so I appreciate that shout out, but I appreciate you
It's
even
true,
responding, so,
true.
I gotta ask a question, and it seems so simple, but you never wanna take this for granted. Health and fitness has just been an instrumental piece, foundation of what life is for you. When it comes to where you're currently at in life, current state of state, and you look back 30 plus years, has it stayed the same as far as why you got into health and fitness and helping change lives, or has it evolved the more and more you've learned about it?
I don't think, I mean, not to shoot down the altruistic component there, but I don't think I got in it to change lives. I'm
Okay.
just being real. I think I got into it because it was a way to make money and stay in the gym.
Mhm.
Not that I didn't care about the people who wasn't invested in the people, that definitely came after a little while, but at first it was like, wait, I can get paid to do this? I can get paid to show you what I love showing anyway? I mean, I would talk to anybody about anything in the gym at any time.
Yeah,
And now you want me to stay with you for an hour and talk about it? I would love to.
yeah,
Let's do this. Let's do some more of these. Let me show you these. Let me show you how I do them. And then let's see you do 'em. Okay. Oh, you could do them better than that. Oh, actually, you could do way more than that. Oh, you didn't know? Sure, you can. And I moved it along like that. And then when you realize that they're connecting to you and you're connecting to them, that is the richness in that relationship, gets you going. Like, to me, I'm cool going to bed early because I know I'm getting up early because I know somebody's gonna get up and drive to me and come in there and wanna throw down. I wanna be 100% to you, and I still to this day, I still prepare
yeah.
like I did, I don't say year 1, year 2, I probably didn't prepare the way I should have because I was kinda just like, "This is hysterical that I'm doing this. It's a job. This can't be a job." And then when I got serious about it, I looked around because I didn't think everybody took it that seriously, and I thought, "I could crush in this business if I really applied myself." And when I started applying, when I started traveling, taking seminars, when I started reading more, like I narrowed down, the topics of my reading, it became like almost psychopathically fitness, fitness, fitness. And then it was nutrition, then it was mobility, then it was sports performance and speed development. And you go into all those things and you prepare, like I prep my people's workouts still. I call it homework. And I'll say to my wife, I got 45 minutes of homework tonight, babe. Or, hey, I did all my homework at the gym, so I'm good. When I come home, I can take the kids to whatever. Um, it still feeds me in that way. The
Mhm.
relationships with the people I find exhilarating. I mean, I guess by definition, I'm a people person. I love that. I love watching them. I was a fat kid, so when I got into fitness for me, not in training, it was like somebody, you know, somebody. So there was a big reveal, right? Somebody pulled the sheet off the car, and there it was. There's the shiny car that can become my car, my body. I can change what I thought I was destined to have if I just do this, this, and this. And obviously, that list of what you do or have to do, the shinier you want that car, the better performance you want that car, that list becomes longer, more time consuming, more arduous, but it's worth it every single time.
Mm,
There's never a workout I've done that I go, "Oh, I wish I didn't do that.
yeah.
It was a bad use of my time." I've never had that feeling.
Mm,
Awesome.
yeah.
There's so much going on. I mean, oh, you're so fun to talk to and listen to and, like, hear your passion that you obviously carry into it. Like, even you getting to say, like, "I get to do this for work." Like, there's a little like, there's that's fun. There's passion that you
It's
can
so
hear
fun.
in your voice,
It's so
right?
fun.
Yeah.
And I have trainers that I work with, and we have a group text, and we take pictures if somebody left something out because we have a lot of stuff at the
Detail.
gym. So
I love
there's
that.
a lot of stuff. It has to go back in the right place or the gym is a wreck. And then when you're gonna wreck my flow if I have to go look for that slant board. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so we'll take a picture and we'll send it to the group. Like, hey, can I work in here? How many sets do you have left, idiot? And it's that kind of banter, and I love that. And I'm probably, I mean, I've had corporate jobs, but I think I'm the way we text, the way we interact, probably not for corporate America. So I love that we can maintain our childishness, our inner child is alive and well, and I like that.
That's awesome. All right. You have started doing a podcast with a couple of colleagues in the space. Jen, is it Widerstrom? Is that how you say her name?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I got that right. I actually met
yeah.
Jen not too
Jen,
long ago.
Jen,
Jen, and
Jen
then
Widerstrom,
also Luke Milton. It's called The
Luke
Kids
Milton,
Table. Tell us
Many, many,
about
many things.
this.
It's great. I've known those guys. I met Luke on Revenge Body, I think the first season, and we became fast friends. And I did some events, not events. I did some things at my gym uh, during the like post COVID ish times, and Luke showed up, and we had the same values, and he's just a solid dude. And Jen and I go way back in between. She was on Gladiators. I don't know if you know that. She was on American Gladiators, and then later on Loser. In between those two, she was a trainer and did other work, and I did a product um, with a distribution company, a supplement, like a pre-workout, which ended up being like we liked it, but it was kind of speedy. Like I had a friend call me, goes, dude, I'm grinding my teeth and vacuuming my house. What's going on with this product? And I go, you should be at the gym, fool. So it's not like just to take it at home, but that we decided to add um, a workout program as an not as an upsell, but it would go along with the product. And so we were going to shoot the content so that it could have a digital component to it. This is a long time ago. And the model they sent over to me was Jen Widerstrom to shoot it. And she walked in. I mean, you see Jen, like
Mhm.
Jen is a lifelong fitness person, CrossFit Games competitor. She threw the hammer in college at Kansas. Like she's an animal. She's an athlete,
Mhm.
and I'm looking at her, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you how to do a back squat." Like, she has this quad flare, and I'm like, "Okay." And we just became friends right away.
Awesome.
And then she gets on with everybody. So then she became friends with Luke, and we were talking about doing it, and I said, I listened to a lot of different podcasts, and I love the way Joe Rogan has sort of brought the fitness the sorry, not that he hasn't done that too, but the comic community to Austin. And I'm not trying to relocate anybody to Nashville by any means, but there's a bringing together
Mhm.
of people who are lifers in a field.
Mhm.
And I used to always do it in LA. I would have an event at my gym, and whether it was I text a group of people and say, "Hey, I don't know if you guys get like me, but I fall behind on my CPR cert. I need it for my next CSCS. I'm gonna have the CPR people come to the gym. If you want to come, come." And I would
Yeah.
get like Ben Bruno, Magnus Lagbeck,
Mm.
Harley Pasternak, Jen Wiederstrom, Luke Mill. Like people would just come, and then I'd say, "Hey, you guys should all come over to the house. Let's get our families together. Let the kids play."
Mhm.
And we do an event like that. But I was always, um, and both parts are important, right? I was the one who would tee it up, but they would follow through.
Yeah.
So my teeing it up means nothing if they don't follow through. So it's equal credit shared, and everybody gets together. I just think the field is a better place. There's a lot of sniping and like low rent, dirty undercutting dirt bags in this field, and like I don't want anything to do with those people. I want the ones who are, what do they say? Competition happens at the bottom, collaboration happens at the top. So
Yeah.
I want the ones at the top because I love the collaboration.
Yeah.
And that's how I became friends with those guys. And I said to them, we should do a podcast where it's us as trainers. I said, I can't travel because of our daughter's health. And but we could do it here, and you guys could stay at my house, and if the podcast makes any money, I mean, we obviously would share all travel costs, and but we should get in like that, and uh, that's how the kids table came to be. And we called it the kids table. That I think that was Jen's line in a car or something. We were talking about a holiday, and I said, we should all come. I said, we'll be sitting at the kids table, and we all laughed. Or she said it, and I said, "Oh my god, that's a perfect name."
That's
And they were like,
awesome.
"Really, really?" Yeah. So that's how it came up. So,
So fun. That's
yeah, it's
awesome.
Yeah,
fun.
that is good.
Good people. They're good people in every industries, and you can get fixated on the bad ones, and you can get sucked down and pulled down into that. I stay away from all that. Just stick with the people who raise you up, right?
That's it.
Stick
That's
with
it.
it. Stick with the David. Stick with the Davids of the world.
For sure. For sure. That's why we keep doing this.
100%.
I just gotta stay close to him.
That it?
Yep, for keep doing this. So
All right, Gunnar. So we covered a lot. We covered a lot. I want to make sure for our listeners, is there anything that we missed that you want to make sure that we mention before we get into our mic drop moment?
No, no, no. I want to hear your mic drop. I'm not scared of you guys. Let's go. I thought they said, there's some question they're going to ask you. I go, bring it. Let's go.
Yeah. No,
My
this
wife,
one.
my wife goes, what do you think they're going to talk about? I go, who knows, babe? I'm an open book. Fire away.
There it is. There it is. All right, this one, pretty simple, but you obviously it can definitely be difficult as well. But adversity, the word adversity, how has adversity shaped your life to who you are today?
Makes you better. Makes you better. You don't back down, right? I tell my son all that my 9-year-old, I have two terrific older ones too, but I tell my 9-year-old all the time, every single thing that comes at you,
Mm,
you have two options. You can step forward to it or you can step back away from it. I said, I encourage you every single time to step forward.
mhm,
And I think that's kind of an unspoken, maybe family ethos. That's
mm,
you step to it. I am not backing down.
mhm.
And that's not, I'm not telling him like some drunk in a bar comes at you, step to that and maybe step away there.
right,
You
right.
Right.
know, your girlfriend grabs your phone and maybe step back on that. But for the other things,
Yeah,
like step to it. You don't know, you will grow, right? It's
yeah.
it's 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 what fighters say, like you learn from every loss, or
Mhm,
right? You will learn from whatever adversity you face, and you will grow and become better.
mm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Growth on the other side of comfort, for sure. I love that.
Absolutely. And we talk about that a lot on this podcast. So thanks for ending us that way. I love that. If we want people to be able to find you, they can go to at Gunnar Fitness. You're on Instagram with that handle. You
Yeah.
also have your website, gunnarpeterson.com. Anywhere else?
Nope, that's it. Right there. Or come to this gym. I'm in here doing some curls. Let's go.
Awesome. They're in Nashville now. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Gunnar. It's been great to have you back.
Yeah.
You guys are terrific. I'd love to we do this again. Let's not wait 5 years, but let's see. And people are out there, get their eye on vests. Like you need that vest. Like I think the funny thing about those vests, not to bring it back, but that is where I met you, Jamie. And I
Yeah.
look at it and I go, so many trainers telling you what to do.
Mhm,
Do this, eat less of that, don't do this. And I go, how about I'm not going to tell you anything. Just put the vest on and that's it. Do nothing different. Don't add anything, don't subtract anything. Put the vest on and live your life
Just
and
live
watch
your
what
life.
happens. Call me in a month.
Yep.
mhm.
And it's not magic. It's definitely not magic. It's all science and the science is there. But I'm not asking you to train differently. I'm asking you to wear something different.
Yep.
Yeah,
I look at that as a wearable,
yeah.
Yeah.
not as necessarily a training tool.
Mhm,
Mhm. It's a pretty cool one, though.
yeah.
I like it.
But it's pretty easy, right? That's a pretty easy on ramp.
Mhm,
Put
Mhm.
the vest on. Whatever you were gonna do, by all means do that.
yeah.
Whatever. I
Yep.
don't care what you were doing. Do that in the vest. Watch what happens.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was good to see you again.
Always,
Thank you
always.
guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me know if you get down here. I'll be here.
Oh, yeah.
Will do.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, I would love it.
Thanks.
See you, Gunnar.
Bye, guys.